Good morning, friends. Today we are going to continue the topic of terminology of Rachana Sarir, and in this part we are going to talk about the terms related with limbs and trunk. There will be one more part which we are going to talk about terminology of skull or head region and some terms related to embryology. Let's continue this topic about limbs and trunk today. So, terms, first of all, terms related with upper limb. So first term which we have already dealt also is the Bahu. Bahu means upper limb. The whole of upper limb is called Bahu. Remember, we are not talking about arm, forearm. We are talking about upper limb. So upper limb will start from the, as you can see here in long definition, part of body extending from the deltoid region to hand. It means if you see your hand, so this is deltoid and this is your hand. So from that particular part to the tip of finger from the deltoid region, you can define it as Bahu. Next word is Bahu Pindika. Bahu means again upper limb. Pindika means prominence. So it is actually the prominence of bicipital biceps, or you can see bicipital prominence. So this is what muscular prominence on anterior part of the arm due to underlying biceps brachii muscle. So when we do like this, when we show our body to somebody or we show our biceps, so when we do like this, then that prominent part is actually Bahu Pindika. Next word is arms. Arms actually means shoulder. So the area above the upper border of scapula and overlying the trapezius muscle. So the part, I think everybody, or you might have not learned the scapula, but when you're going to learn, you will see a scapula has three borders. So the upper border will be there, and whatever is the muscle, that muscle name is trapezius. So that particular part which is forming contour will be called as shoulder. Respectively, you can say this is shoulder. Then there is one word known as kaksha or kaksha. So kaksha or kaksha means the hidden part between your arm and trunk region. So when you raise your hand, this axillary part is there, that is called armpit or axilla. So it is actually the pyramidal shape between the lateral part of the upper part of thorax and upper limbs. तो लिम्स के साथ जो छुपा हुआ पार्ट है थोरस का लगा हुआ, उसी को हम लोग क्या बोलेंगे, कक्षा बोलते हैं. Then there is one word आर्तने, or also called as prakoshta. So this is a word for forearm, which is technically called as antebrachium. Brachium means arm and it is forearm. So when we divide upper limb, we can divide into basically 3 or 4 parts, you can say. So that is arm, forearm, then wrist part, then manus or hand. So here it is for the forearm, the portion of arm between the elbow and wrist is called aratani or antebrachium. Then there is one word called Kurpara, Kafodi, or Puhlika. These are different words synonyms which are used in different places. More commonly, you can say we'll see the Kurpara word. This is for elbow joint. So it is joint between arm and forearm. It's called Kurpar. Remember, friends, that we are not including all the terms which are, we are including which are more common terms which we are going to find. Whenever a topic will be started, your teachers will tell you that what are the more terms from the Ayurveda side that will have to know about them. Next, you can see a word is pani or karha. This means hand. So remember, in general भाषा में हम क्या बोलते हैं, हाथ उठाओ, तो we pull up like this. But now after entering in the medical school, you should know that this particular thing is upper limb, bahu, and hand is only this much. That is manus. That is pani, the part of upper limb distal to the wrist. This is distal to the wrist. That's why it is called as manus or pani. Then there is word is called angushta. Angusht means thumb. So thumb can be of upper limb or lower limb. It will be called as thumb only. And this is the biggest digit of your hand, the first digit of your hand. Then there is word anguli. Anguli can also be same thing for fingers also and for the lower limb also. We are going to talk same word. So it is the most mobile and distal part of limbs, 5 in each number. Then there are two specific word or one, that's tricum. Tricum means region around shoulder girdle. Same word will be also used in upper limb about the pelvic girdle, and this is here for the shoulder girdle, the region around the shoulder girdle. So shoulder girdle has 3 joints. I think you will be taught in future, or you might be knowing also. And this whole together thing of combination of 3 bones, clavicle, scapula, and humerus will be called as shoulder girdle, along with sternum. Then there is a word called as tala. Tala means palm. This part is palm. This whole thing is pani. But this particular thing is tala. Anterior of flexor surface of hand from wrist to finger will be called as palm part. तो palm के पीछे जो हम लोग उल्टा पढ़ते हैं, that is dorsum part. Okay. Now, some terms related with lower limb especially. So first of all, Sakti. Sakti is called as lower limb, like Bahu was called as upper limb. So here it will be Sakti. तो ये क्या है? The part of body extending from gluteal region to foot. It is specialized for weight bearing and locomotion. तो ये सारा बॉडी का वेट जो है इसी के ऊपर रहता है और ये चलने में भी हेल्प करता है, इसलिए स्पेशलाइज फॉर वेट बेयरिंग एंड लोकोमोशन. देन देयर इज अ वर्ड कॉल्ड उरु. उरु मींस थाई रीजन. Now lower limb is divided into again certain parts, like we have divided upper limb. So thigh, leg, foot, ankle, knee, all these things will come. So uru means thigh, the part of lower limb between the groins and the knee anteriorly and the lower margins of buttocks and knee posteriorly. जो ऊपर वाला भाग है इसको हम लोग जंघा भी बोलते हैं. That will be called as, कॉमन भाषा में उसको जंघा बोलते हैं, बट एक्चुअली वो उरु होगा. जंघा क्या होगा? लेग होगा, आगे चल के आएगा. देन देयर इज अ वर्ड कॉल्ड एज उरु मूलम. मींस द उरु का मूल कहाँ पे है, ओरिजिन कहाँ पे, और द पॉइंट. तो डेट वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक एट इनग्वाइनल रीजन. इट इज ग्रोइन और द जंक्शनल एरिया बिटवीन थाई एंड ट्रंक. तो जहाँ पे लोअर लिम्ब और ट्रंक रीजन मिले हुए हैं, जुड़े हुए हैं, दैट पर्टिकुलर पार्ट कैन बी कॉल्ड इज उरु मूलम. देन देयर इज द वर्ड जंघा. देखो आम भाषा में हम जंघा को थाई बोलते हैं, बट हियर इट इज leg. This is called for leg region. Leg is lower to or distal to the knee joints. The part of lower limb between knee and ankle is called leg or jangha. Remember, jangha is leg. Then there is word pada. Pada for a foot. The part of lower limb distal to the ankle joint will be called pada. Then again you can see a word tricum has came. It was also in the upper limb. So here it is especially for the sacrum region or sacrum. The region behind the triangular bone situated dorsal or caudal from the two ilia between the fifth lumbar vertebrae of coccyx. In combination, we can simply say it is something related to pelvic girdle. Then there is a word janu. Janu here means knee. That is a joint between the thigh and leg. जंघा और उरु के बीच में जो joint को उसको जानु कहेंगे. Then there is gulfa, ghutika or ghutika. These are all similar words, but gulfa is more famous. This is said for the ankle, the joint between leg and foot. Then there is a word called khudak or khulaka. Again, this is synonym for ankle joint only. Then there is a word called parsoni. It is said for the heel. That is rounded posterior portion of the foot is called heel. जो heel होता है, heel वाला स्लीप पर पहन के जो चलते हैं, that particular part is called heel. Here it is going to be called as parsoni. Then there is one word called jaghanam. Jaghanam is actually for the waist. कमर को बोलते हैं. That is hip and loins regions को. That is jaghanam. Then there is word called sroni. Sroni is specific for pelvis. The bony structure formed by the innominate bones, sacral, coccyx, and ligament uniting them together will be called as pelvis. Pelvis will be in detail. We will talk about two type: true pelvis, false pelvis. So there is difference between male and female pelvis also. So again, there is one word jaghanam. Same thing, hip and loins. So these are certain words which are important for knowing or understanding the lower limbs when we are going to be talking about the classical version. Then these are some terms. Now we are going to talk about trunk related terms. So first of all, there is a word called antaradhi. Antaradhi simply means trunk. The body exclusive of head, neck and limbs. तो जो बीच का पार्ट है, जो नेक के नीचे और लोअर लिप के ऊपर है, that particular part will be called as अंतराधि. ये सडन शरीर का जब हमने बात किया था, then also it was there. Then there is word called udara kukshi. So these are synonym word said for the abdomen. But remember, udara kukshi doesn't mean stomach. It means abdomen, whole of the abdomen region which is between the thorax and pelvis. तो आम बोलचाल में हम लोग उधर को स्टमक समझ लेते हैं, पर स्टमक इज नॉट उधर, इट इज होल ऑफ एब्डोमेन कैविटी. Then there is a word called uraha. Uraha is for chest region or thorax region, the part of human body enclosed by ribs and sternum. Then there is word called uraha costa. Uraha costa means cavity. Uraha means ur के अंदर होने वाला cavity, that is thoracic cavity. So the space lying above the diaphragm and close within the walls of thorax or ribs, which contains lungs and heart and different organs, that will be called as uraha costa. Then urogrivam. Urogrivam means thorax and neck part. Then antha kukshi. Antha kukshi can be synonym with the abdominal cavity only, the cavity of the portion of trunk located in the chest and pelvis, or sometimes this is also said to be for uterine cavity. In certain references we are also going to get, and we are going to talk about the reproductive parts of the female. Then also this will be for uterine cavity also. Then there is a word called पार्श्व और उदर पार्श्व. उदर हमने पहले क्या पढ़ा था? एब्डोमेन. एब्डोमेन को पार्श्व मीन्स lateral side. So it can be simply said as flanks or side of abdomen. Then there is one word called कोष्ठा. कोष्ठा means actually cavity or sometimes short में इसको बोलते हैं viscera. Viscera means organs or splanchna. So internal organs enclosed within the cavity, especially the abdominal organs, will be called as koshta. This is a chapter. We are going to detail it out. Then we are going to talk about some names of organs as per classical test. So there is a hridaya. It's famous. It's for heart and cardiac region. Then there is cloma. It is highly controversial. But from references from which Namaste portal we are taking, they have described it as pancreas. It is a gland with endocrine as well as exocrine functions. Then you can see Yakrita, Kalakhanda, these are set for the liver, which is the largest organ of the body. Then Pliha, Pliha is set for the spleen. Then Vrika, Vrika can be correlated with the kidney. Then there are some more about Vrika, Kalekam, and Kukshigolaka. So these are some synonyms you are going to get in Susru Sariristhan itself. Vrika, Kalekam, Kukshigolaka. So all these are set for the kidneys only, which are retroperitoneal organ. Then there is one word called Asaya. Asaya is again a chapter. So Asaya means a vessel type of thing or a covering which is going to be receiver of something or some dhatu or some dosa like Vata Asaya, Pitta Asaya. The short definition, it can be said to be receptacle. So some particular organs or group of organs which act as a container of something. That something can be dhatu, dos, or anything else, or mudra. Like this, it can be asay. So asay will be of different types, 7 types typically: vat asay, pit asay, rakt asay. So we'll talk later about asay. Then there is a word called vasti. It is said for the urinary bladder. Then there is a word gavani. Gavani is said to be for the ureter, that tube. Then there is amase. Now you can understand amase means stomach. Udar doesn't mean stomach. Udar means abdomen. So here you can say amase, am and samputar. Then you can get more words also, but these are common one. The stomach, it is a dilated sac-like distensible portion of alimentary canal between esophagus and duodenum. This is technical definition of stomach. Then there is pakvase, pakwanam, pakwadhanam, large intestine. Then there is a word called grahini. Grahini is the part of large intestine, small intestine, and typically set for the duodenum. Grahini is, can understand, just like a kitchen of your home where everything is being cooked. So here the food will going come from pyrolic part, then enzymes will come, then bile will come, and everything will happen. They will do digestion of the things in this part. That's why it is called as grahini. We can typically call it duodenum part. Then there is a mutra asay, means asay means where the accumulation. So mutra ka jahan pe asay, that is urinary bladder. Then there is lingam, that is penis, that is male external reproductive part. Then brasana, that is testicle, part of male reproduction located in the scrotal sac responsible for the formation of spermatozoa. Then gudam, that is anal part or anus. Then Shudrandra, that is small intestine. Sthulandra, that is large intestine. So these are some terms which were related with the limbs and trunk region. In next part, we are going to talk about the whatever is left, that is the terms related with head and neck region and terms related with the embryo part. Thank you.